Hello everyone, this is Joey from Adelaide. Today I'm going to show you how we can create a data extractor using Excel 2016 with VBA. So let's talk about why you should use Excel 2016 as data extractor, and in particular with VBA, because Excel 2010 onwards, I think they do offer add-in, and you could use .NET or C# as an alternative to program your data extractor. But in this case, I think VBA is much more efficient because it has less tooling involved. With the add-in, you need to install Visual Studio. So the way I look at it is, life is short. Life should be more interesting. Let the data extractor do the boring stuff for you, and you yourself should end up doing something more efficient. So I'm having a Windows 8.1. The way I would do it is, I'll open the Excel file here, and I'll start with a blank workbook. So just ignore this. So the way it works is that if you see on the top of your ribbon, you are actually missing one important tab, which is called the developer tab. The way it works is, you go to file options and then customize ribbons, and then you go to your main tabs over here and click on the developer checkbox. So once you've done that, you will see a developer ribbon down here, and all your VBA tool sets will be available for you. So let's start working with something more interesting. Like I say again, we would like to build a data extractor. So obviously, to do a data extractor, you need a sample data. So I have taken the liberty over here, before I start this recording, and went and download this CSV file here. So let's just do that again. So let me save that. Just click that, and then save it to my desktop over here. So let's just inspect over here that we have a comma separated file here. Now, of course, you would say, hey, this is easy. We could just download and then double click that, and there we go. But oftentimes, right, what you would see in the your day-to-day activity is that you need to format the your input file, rather than just opening it. Raw file doesn't really fit your context over here. You might need to do some kind of processing. So the other thing that I would also like to remind everyone is that CSV does not preserve your your Excel formatting until you have to save it. And also another use case is that, what if this data, they change every day, and you need to process them every day, to come out with a certain format or result. So you might not want to do this manually. Now let's look at our CSV file. And on our CSV file, we have the name, position, title, department, employee, annual salary. Only blank 4 columns, and quite a substantial row here. Obviously, like we say again, we need to bring that into our workbook over here. Our workbook is quite, empty at the moment. So I want to what I wanted to say is that this is our main workbook here, and what we wanted to do is we will have a button over here. When we click it, it will automatically look for the CSV file that we have appointed, and then it will load all the data onto the columns and row over here. Bear in mind that you cannot do the same thing on the CSV file, because CSV file does not preserve any kind of formatting, nor the VBA. So once you leave the CSV file, it will blow away your VBA format. So the way you do it is you have to save it to a .xls format. To start off with, the extractor, what we'll do is we'll do the record macro, and then what we do is we go to data tab over here, and then you say from text, and then we point it to our CSV file delimited obviously, and then we want a comma, because it's a comma separated file, and then we say next, finish, and then we'll just specify where we want to drop the your data. So once you hit OK, so everything populates just like how it populate in this CSV file here. Has no much different, but bear in mind this is your raw file, so your raw file is expected to change, whereas your your main workbook will be always consistently the same whenever you open it, and then you ask it to do the same task again and again. We'll just stop the recording for the macro. So essentially what Excel is doing here is building in the background some kind of program for you. So it's reconstructing your action into a real VBA program over here. If you run through the program, you can see a bit of the context over here. So what it's doing is say active sheet, query table, add the connection, and the connection is actually our text file. And then if you scroll down a little bit down, or not scroll down, but just look down a couple of lines, you can actually see there's the text file comma delimiter over here. So there are all sorts of powerful what do you call that, options over here that you can give to the VBA so that it does what you need. We're not going to stop here. We're just going to continue. So I have removed all my mouse click, which is not relevant for our import over here. So if I do, let me just show you, going back to the Excel file, and now you'll say, oh no, don't delete that, I still need it. But just to prove that it will run again 20 times, I'll run the play button here for the macro one, and then actually we run into some issues over here, and then just click the debug here. Here we have some issue here. Actually I check before we run this recording that we actually don't need this options over here, and I have put a comment. So the way you put the comment is you put a single quote in front of it, and then you will comment the rest of the line out. So and then just continue to run it, and if you notice, you see your data, ending back into your main workbook. So this is still looking quite dull, and in fact we have to come back into this Visual Basic GUI to trigger our action over here to do the extraction. That is totally unacceptable in my point of view. So the way we do it is we want to put a fancy button over here so that we don't have to keep going to the the backend GUI to run it. And sometimes going to the GUI is quite risky as well. You might accidentally change stuff, and if you want to distribute to your other colleagues or your friend, this would not be the most efficient way to ask them to run your extraction. Maybe I did it a bit too quickly. So the way to do it is you say insert the control, click on the button over here, and then draw your button onto the your workbook over here, and point it to the macro that we have just created. If you have not forgotten, that is referencing to the macro name over here. Okay, so let's close this down, and then just visually inspect that. Oops, or it's not committing to the macro one. So let's just reselect that and make sure you click OK. And if you run it from here, oops, I made a mistake. What we should do is delete this. I think there's a way to make it fix. Let me just check. Oh no, don't move or size with cell. Okay, so if I do this again, see, so it has populate the cell into the background here. So we got here so far with the button being set up over here, which will give us a what should I say, an uniform way of doing the extraction over here. But I think we are still not got the efficiency edge. The reason I say that is that you still need to go to the the government website, and you have to possibly have to click this, and then download the file. If this file would change every day, that would be still annoying. So how can we automate that? The way I do it is first is to remove all the existing data first, and then go to the website where we found our CSV file, copy the link location over here, go back to Excel file. I've actually opened up the data ribbon over here, and then click from web, and then paste the link over here, and then hit the go button. Normally you would expect that you would do that by saving it. So I'll just save it in my desktop for the time being. But if I import it, say here, to select where I'm going to drop my result, we actually have, you know, nothing over here, which is quite annoying. So you might be thinking that this is really broken, but it's actually quite intended. So the workaround is that let's do this. So let's start by recording a new macro block. In fact, what I want you to do is just go to google.com, copy that link over there, or actually you could you know, enter it yourself. Go back to the data tab over here and click the from web, paste you know, Google website link over here and hit go. What we intend over here is we need to have some kind of dummy result over here. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as there's a result over here. And then do the import. Okay, and then make sure you select to your destination cell where you're going to drop your data eventually. Okay, so you can see, you know, quite a gibberish value coming back from Google Web, but let's just delete that. Make sure you stop the macro block. So now let's revisit what the macro block is doing over here. So if you see here, what it's trying to do is trying to go to a website and grab all the data from google.com.au. That is really not we are after right there. So we are after downloading the content from our CSV file, but most definitely not Google over here. But what I want you to do is copy this whole block here, append it on top, and then what I want you to do is remove, you know, this bottom block over here. Okay, so remember that this will yield all our gibberish data, but just going back here, and then let's just copy the link location again for our CSV file, going back to our VBA here, and then let's just remove, you know, Google, and okay, and then make sure you save that. Oh, I haven't do a save. Let me save it to my desktop over here. Oops, you should be able to save it to a Excel macro enable workbook. Save that. And just going back to our workbook over here, and if we click that button over here, we get the same error again. Make sure you comment that out, run the play button, and just wait. So here you can see that our result is you know, loaded into our Excel workbook over here. So let me just remove this content again, and if I hit the button again, it should do the download of the content again. There you go. See, you got a consistent process to extract the CSV file from the web. So let's go back to our developer toolkit or Visual Basic GUI to do our treatment. So the way I do it is the following. So I will say range A is column A 65535, which is almost to the end of the row, and then end XL up dot row. Okay, so we'll say last row is in fact going down from 65535, row 65535, and go all the way up and look to see if that was the last row. The reason for doing that is if you do it from up to down, if there happens to be a blank in between, it will not take the last row here as the last row. It would take from the moment where there is a space and one before the space as the last row. And what we will do is we'll say for r equals to 2, which is from row equals to 2 to the last row, so this is the whole syntax for a for loop. You need the next row to say that's the end for the for loop, and then you say pretty much you just say range A, which is our first column here, and then with the row number, so that will be A2, range A2. Range means the cell A, and the R over here is the row number. So when it say A2, when it R, the row number equals to 2, that would point to A2, and if R equals to 3, then it will point to A3. Dot value. Okay, and what we want to do is to save that temporary on the memory. So we will assign a value here. We say the original entry value equals to the every row that is iterating it. And then what we'll do is we'll say entry array equals to split don't worry about the error here. So, and then the limiter is the comma. So what are we implying here is that we are taking in each row, which is the column A column only, and then we are running through each row, and then we are splitting that into an array. Okay, and then the array, so with array, right, you actually get sort of entry array 0, and then followed by 1, and then followed by 2, and so on. But in this case, we would expect about 5 splits. Okay, so array is nothing but a set of a collection of multiple items of the same type. Now what we want to do over here is we'll just say range I'll be a bit lazy over here, and I'll just say copy this part here will be made up of the split of number 1, element number 1, and element number 2. Now you might get a bit confused here, but let me show you what exactly is happening over here. So you can left click over here to debug it. Okay, so just left click here, and once it's highlight, then what it means is before it execute this line over here, it will halt first for you to take a look in the variable. So let's do that, and if I run that, okay. So the way I would do it is you go to the local Windows over here, and then if you pull it up a bit, and you can see this entry array there's a small little box over here, and if in our entry array, if you can see here, there are 5 elements over here, and let's just go back to our workbook and have a look on column number 2. So it's Aaron, Elvia, water rate taker, water management, and about 90,000. Going back to our VA, so here we have seen Aaron and then Elvia, water rate taker, water management, and about 90,000, which is his wage over here. So what we intend to do is we are saying that our column A and row number 2 is should be made of his I guess this is his surname, and then this is his surname. I'm not sure I've got that correct, but anyway, you could twist that if you like, but I have actually put a space instead of a comma, like they have done it in the CSV file. So this is one of the process. So I would say, replace comma with space, for example. Oops, sorry, wrong syntax for comment. So I'll just stop here because I'm gonna continue to code, and then so what about B then? What should B be? So in fact, it should be the third element which is the second index over here, and then column C. Oh, capital C should be number 3, and then 4 should be on the D column. So we're almost done. So let's just go back here. Let me remove everything from here, give it a fresh start. Now we got some error over here. Let's just inspect it. So what's happening here is row 32064, and if you have a look, we actually have only 4 elements. That's not looking too good here. That is why we need some kind of process or treatment again. So it's not so straightforward where you can just grab off the raw file and put it to your correct context. So how can we fix this? So the way I do is a little bit of hacking here. I'll say if sorry, right here, if u bound, which is the up bound or in some way represent the size of the array is not equals to 5, then run our following action. Okay, so I'll just put a nice indentation here. So remember the last row is actually nothing but quotation, which actually makes no sense. We should actually clean it up. So what we'll do is you just say range A equals to blank, or what you could do is you can say delete as well, or clear. I think clear would be much better. What it means is we'll just remove this entry as our clean up. Oh, I always get confused with the command syntax. So I'm doing a lot of other programming as well. So I think that should do our trick. If we go back here, remove it, and then run our extraction again. Oops, I think I might have oh, this should be 4 instead of 5, sorry. So the way it goes is that 4 is the what do you call that, the upper bound index here, not 5. Although we have 5 elements here, so 0 1 2 3 4 4, but in fact we have 5 elements over here, but 4 was the upper bound index number for the entry array. So sorry for that. So let us just remove this context away and run it again. Yep, it looks almost perfect, except that our first very row, it is not you know, properly text to column. So our first column was not properly managed, although we have managed the rest of the row. And in fact, you go to the last row, we have done a kind of a cleanup. So how do we fix this anyway? So the way to do it is quite simple. What we have to do is copy this row here, and right before we execute, the command to fix up our text to column with the programming, the way we do it is we'll just say this is 1, or in fact the proper way to do it is you say A1, B1, C1, and D1. don't forget that we have to split that first. Okay, and obviously you have to, oops, I copied the wrong one. Obviously here in this context here we say we want to take in column A1 and do the same split, but we'll just do it for one time only. In fact, right, this is not the right way, because if I happen to run this, you'll see that we will end up with error. I'll show you why. So let's just run this again. See, we have run into trouble. Let's just debug this. And if you notice, right, we actually have only four columns. So to fix this is quite easy. So 1, 2, and 3, because we don't want to concatenate the name and the position. The name and the position should be a separate column. So let's do this again. So I'll click that. Oops, let me just clear all the columns, and then we'll just do it one more time. Looking much better, I hope. Just sort the column nicely. So as you can see here, we have properly extracted our CSV file and put into the correct context here. We have replaced the comma with the space. You could reverse this if this was the other, you have a different preference for how name should be applied to you. But overall, I think it's quite satisfactory. So if you like my video, please don't forget to drop a like or subscribe.